Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are indeed new. Back to Premier League action. It's the weekend again. Arsenal playing against Villa on Sunday in a massive game in the title race. 7 games to go, 7 wins more than likely gets it done for Arsenal, and it's one where we can't afford to slip up, quite simply. You look at the other title challengers this weekend, both got a lot probably easier games than Arsenal have. City playing today against Luton at home in a 3 o'clock kickoff. You expect them to win that quite comfortably. And then Liverpool, who have had a dip in form recently, obviously drawing away to Manchester United last week, which normally, you know, in recent history, or should I say in history, wouldn't necessarily sound like a bad thing. But when you watch the game, Liverpool were much the better team, wasted at loads of chances, should have won. And it will feel like a massive 2 points drop to them. And in midweek, they got spanked at Anfield against Atalanta 3-0. So they're not going into it in the best of forms, but, you know, in the Premier League, at Anfield, you would expect them to pick up 3 points. And then Arsenal bat last out of the 3 in the home tie to 4th place Villa. So, no wait, 5th place Villa, sorry. So we definitely have the hardest of the games, but it's definitely a winnable game. And it's one that Arsenal have to take seriously. Obviously, we played in midweek against Bayern. We need to show that there's no signs of a hangover from the midweek. At the end of the day, we played on Tuesday, Villa played on Thursday. And so we get a lot more time to recover than Villa do. We have a bigger and better squad. So there will be no excuses in terms of being tired or anything like that from midweek. It's a game we just have to go for and get it done. Villa going into this game in a little bit of mixed bag of form. You know, they did win midweek 2-1 against Lille. But in the Premier League, they're sort of doing what I would say, you know, us Arsenal fans would know, a very typical Unai Emery thing, where you get to a high, normally about midway through the season, you start thinking, oh, we might do well this year, and then it starts to slowly go a bit like this, up and down, and you start to slide. If you look at their last 5 results in the Premier League alone, last week they drew 3-3 with Brentford at home after going 2-0 up. Then they went 3-2 down, and then they managed to get it back to 3-3. Not a great result for them. That'll feel like 2 points dropped, especially when it's very tight between them and Spurs for the top 4 places. Then before that, the midweek before, they played City away, and for some reason they rested all their players. Went there sort of a B team and ended up getting smashed 4-1. They're definitely not going to do that for us. They're not going to roll over and die for us like they did City. Then before that, they played Wolves at home, which they did win 2-0, so that's a good result. Then they drew away week before that against West Ham 1-1. Again, not a terrible result because West Ham ain't a bad side, but sort of form Villa have been in, they're going to want to pick up points there to try and secure the top 4. And then before that, in the massive top 4 battle against Tottenham at Villa Park, they got absolutely battered 4-0. John McGinn got sent off, I believe it was. So they're in a little bit of a weird vein of form where you don't really know fully what you're going to get from them. Whereas Arsenal going into it the complete opposite. We've been playing brilliantly since the turn of the year. I mean, the turn of the year, we played, what, 11 games, I think it is. We've only conceded 4 goals, scored 30-odd. We're in brilliant form. But, you know, we're only as good as our last game. And our last game against Bayern, we did show signs of nerves, I think. Made some silly mistakes. And this game now is just, you have to make sure you don't carry them silly mistakes into the Premier League, because we've been so phenomenal in the Premier League. And we're 7 games away from history, from a massive title win. If you had have asked me a few months back, I would have always said Champions League over the Premier League, just because it's something Arsenal have never won. I've never seen Arsenal win, and it's the one sort of thing that people use to, you know, a stick to constantly beat us with all the time. And I'd love to write that I'm wrong, but since the turn of the year, we've got right back in the title race. We've got ourselves top of the pile now. And 7 wins more than likely gets it done. And you're playing 7 teams you are better than. So it's a really big chance. But, you know, this title race is so tight. We start the weekend top of the league on goal difference. By the time we kick a ball at 4:30 on Sunday, chances are we will be 3rd. So it's very tight, and we just got to really focus and make sure there's not one eye on the second leg of Bayern. We're not taking the mistakes and carrying it into this game. Full focus on the Premier League. 7 games, 7 finals, get it done. You more than likely win the Premier League, because our goal difference is so superior. Even if Liverpool somehow win all their games, which I can't see happening personally. But That's the mindset Arsenal have to have, pure tunnel vision, Premier League, and then when it comes to midweek, you switch and you focus on the Champions League. I can see us in this game. Like, obviously, there's going to be a few tactical elements. I'm sure Arteta is going to be looking at ways to hurt Villa. You know, they play very high lines. It's going to be, I'm sure, looking at ways to expose that. But I think this is a game where we approach it very similar to the Newcastle at home game we had probably a month or so back. We played Porto in the first leg a few days before. Obviously, had that disappointing 1-0 loss, and it was sort of a thing, will Arsenal carry this into the next game? And then come the Newcastle game, we absolutely battered them. We suffocated them. The press was amazing. One of the best performances of the season. We ended up winning 4-1. And I can see a similar, or at least we're going to attempt, I think, in my opinion, a similar type of performance against Villa. I can see us going for it. We should be fresh over the 2 days rest. We've got a bigger squad anyway. They're missing one of their best players in Douglas Luiz, who picked up his 10th yellow card last week, so we'll now be missing 2 games. And I think Arsenal just got to go for it early, go straight at them, press them. You know, when they have the ball at the back, press them quickly, try and nick it off them in dangerous areas, and try and get try and get the game done as quickly as possible. And then you can start, well, I can start maybe thinking about taking players off with Bayern in mind only 3 days after. So it'll be interesting to see what team he goes for. Will there be some changes, etc.? But, you know, go with your strongest team possible, get this done, and then focus on Bayern. You know, I think a very important thing for Arsenal is come Wolves next week to still be top of the Premier League, regardless what happens in the Champions League. Because, you know, the next 3 games we got in the Premier League, we got Villa, Wolves and Chelsea. You win all 3 of them, then you're going into that Spurs away game, top of the Premier League, unless there's a mathematical freaking goal difference. You go there top of the Premier League with a big chance of winning the Premier League if you can beat Spurs. I'm sure the players aren't thinking that far ahead. They've got to take it a game at a time with full focus on Villa and getting the job done. So I'm just going to go to my predicted 11. This is a little bit, to be honest, I don't really know what I think Arteta will do in this. I don't know whether, I don't know whether he'll take, you know, some people out and approach it differently, move some people around, get some people minutes who I think will be key for the Bayern game, or if he'll stick to what he's doing. So it's quite a hard predicted 11. But I think he'll obviously be Raya in goal. Made a big mistake in my opinion midweek. Didn't look great in midweek, to be honest with you, against Bayern. To be fair, it's probably the biggest game he's ever played in. But, you know, overall he's been very consistently good in recent months. So can't hold it against him too much. Hope, you know, he'll be back in the sticks and hopefully he'll have a comfortable game and look to add to his clean sheet record, because he's leading the Golden Glove now by about 3 or 4. You know, he's definitely the favourite to pick up Golden Glove at the end of the season. So hopefully he keeps that going. I think Ben White will continue at right back. Again, I think he's been one of our best players in recent months. Probably, in my opinion, the best right back in the league on current form. So I believe he'll stay at right back. Saliba will obviously be the right centre half. And then Gabriel, if he's fit, but there are reports coming out yesterday that he didn't actually train yesterday. So we'll see what comes out today, whether he's in training or not. But hopefully he comes through it, because we desperately need him. Him and Saliba will be very key in this game up against Ollie Watkins, who's been probably the best striker in the league this season. And he is a handful, so I think we're going to need both of them. If not, Kivior more than likely come in, but I'm confident Gabriel will make it. So Saliba, Gabriel. Left back, I think he'll go with Zinch. I think he'll look to really try to get on the ball and dominate, which could be a risk because, you know, Leon Bailey more than likely on that side, or maybe Diaby, very direct, dangerous players. But I think he'll look at Zinchenko to get on the ball and dominate them. And then when they do counter, I'm sure he'll look to send Gabriel out there to deal with their right-wing threat. But I think Zinchenko will play. I don't think he played badly against Bayern when he come on, to be fair, midweek. So I think he'll end up with a nod. In midfield, this way I think he might go different. I'll be quite surprised, to be honest, if Jorginho starts. I didn't think he had a great game midweek. And I mean, I was surprised he played midweek, to be honest with you. But 3 games in a week of that intensity, you know, he's getting a bit older now. Can he do that? He probably can, but I've got a feeling he might just switch it up. So I'm going to say Rice in the 6, which I think we kind of need to put him back there. I think the last few games he's looked like Brighton. I don't think he had a massive impact in the game. I think he was a bit anonymous against Bayern in the 8. And I think he's just better off as a 6 anyway, but obviously we don't have anyone in that left 8, and you look at the performances of the season, our best midfield has been Jorginho, Rice and Odegaard, so I understand why he keeps persisting with it. But in this game, I think Rice might go back to the 6. And then it'll be obviously Martin Odegaard as the right sort of 8/10. Been brilliant recently. I thought he was good against Bayern without being, you know, amazing or creating like a goal or assisting or scoring a goal basically. But I think his overall play was very, very good. And then I think he might drop Havertz back one and put Havertz in the 8, because I think it might be something he might look to do against Bayern, to try and get Havertz and Jesus in the same team. So I think Havertz might start as the 8 in this game. And then you look at right wing, Bukayo Saka, obviously scored in midweek. I think overall we played very well against one of the best left backs in the world. Left wing, I think he might go Trossard this week. You know, he come on and changed the game for Bayern, against Bayern, sorry, scored a goal. I mean, his overall play weren't great, but he scored a very, very good goal. And then the man up front, I think, will be the man who was the real game changer against Bayern, and I think it'll be Jesus. I think he'll look to start playing Jesus. I think midweek you saw Jesus back to his best, that sort of that trickery, that, you know, causing pure chaos when he's in the box. No one wants to touch him. Assisted Trossard, so I think he'll look to start playing him. And I think we need to get minutes in his legs, because I think Jesus should start against Bayern personally, because the way he plays in the Champions League is absolutely amazing. So that's a team I think he might go for. It wouldn't surprise me if like Tomiyasu plays and Jorginho does start, for example, but I think that might be what Arteta looks to do. Predicted score, I've got a feeling it's going to be a good game from Arsenal. I've got a feeling we're going to suffocate them. We're going to get this job done early, and I think we might score a few goals. I'm going to go 4-1 Arsenal, which is a bit bold. I don't normally do bold predictions like that, but I've just got a good feeling it's going to be a good game. And this is the one where I think Arsenal players need to show that they have learned and they can deal with 2 different competitions, you know, switching off and separating the Premier League and the Champions League. This is a massive opportunity for Arsenal to go and win this Premier League and have a special season. If the reason I'm so desperate for Arsenal to win this, it will go down as one of the best title wins ever, in my opinion. If Arteta can beat Klopp and Guardiola in Klopp's last season, you know, don't get me wrong, I want Arteta to win the league whenever he can. But I'd love him to do it while Pep and Klopp are there. You know, I think it'll be a massive feather in his cap. It will be a massive thing for these players who are on the cusp of world class to push them over the edge and become certified world class, in my personal opinion. Like Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Gabriel, Saliba, even White. I think White is a fantastic right back, and I think he's just underrated for some reason. But yeah, so massive opportunity to win this league, and it starts with Villa, the last 7 to go. Just go there, get the job done as early as possible. Then you can think about taking players off and just tick another game off, and then there'll be six left to go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you think the team would be, or what do you think it should be? Predicted scores, etc. And yeah, the same old bollocks. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. It will mean a lot. But yeah, talk to you guys either on Sunday or Monday, whenever I get the reaction video done. And hopefully we're celebrating a good Arsenal performance and a big Arsenal win. Come on, you Gunners. Have a good weekend. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.